Welcome back to Southview Voices, the podcast where we celebrate the incredible things happening in our school community. I'm your host, Norah, a 7th grader who also does Irish dance for Cordomore, so I'm so excited to host this with my friend Delaney. Today we have the distinct pleasure of speaking with Kristo Sween. Kristo is a true powerhouse in the world of traditional arts. He's been connected to O'Shea Irish Dance for almost 20 years. Kristo is a co-administrator for the O'Shea Irish Dance School. Kristo, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
I have been Irish dancing for 9 years, so I'm very excited to have this opportunity to talk with you. To start, could you share a little bit more about your background and what sparked your initial interest in captivating world of Irish dance?
That's a great question. So my background is probably less relevant than my kids' background, but my wife and I always felt it was really important for our kids to be involved in the arts. My wife is a musician, and I studied theater, and we're both sing, and there's been some dancing in the background of our lives. And so we knew that it would be important as we had children to get them involved in that kind of stuff too.
For sure.
And so fast forward to 20 years ago, when my sister-in-law, so my wife's sister, closest sister, said, there's this guy from Riverdance who's coming to town to start a dance school. If the girls are going to dance, we better sign him up with this guy. That's what got me into the crazy world of Irish dance. I'm glad to have the opportunity to talk about it here and to bring it to your event.
Yes. So Irish dance is so full of energy and tradition. What is the core message or feeling you hope to convey to audiences through your next dance? Can you tell us a bit about what we can expect to see next Friday?
Yeah, the tradition thing is super important to us. The school, as I said, was founded by an original cast member from Riverdance. So that's Cormac O'Shea is his name. And his parents ran an Irish dance school in Dublin. And
So cool.
and at the very beginning of the idea for Riverdance, the people who were producing it and Michael Flatley were like, well, we need a bunch of really good dancers. And that was the only option was like, we've got to go to the O'Shea School in Dublin and get these dancers. So Cormac and his brother and sister were all three in the cast of the original Riverdance, which took place over 30 years ago. So it's been a while. So that's where a lot of the tradition in our school comes from. Cormac, was a teacher at that school when he was a kid, but also in school in Ireland, the kids learn Irish dance and they learn traditional Irish music. And it's really such a strong part of that culture that we're delighted that to be part of a school that's rooted in that. And so that's what we hope to bring to the performance with our dancers. We're going to be showing dancers from a variety of levels, doing a variety of different kinds of steps, and hope to connect it to some of the traditional knowledge and wisdom and history that comes along with traditional Irish dance and bring it into the modern day as well. That's always been a big part of what we do at O'Shea.
That's awesome. For sure. Yeah, well, we're definitely excited. At Southview Voices, we love exploring different cultures. What aspects of Irish dance would you be excited to share with our listeners? And a question many might have: do you need to be Irish to dance with O'Shea Irish Dance?
So let me start with the second question first, because people ask that a lot. I don't know how often you hear that in your Irish dance experience, but yeah, we do hear that a lot. Do you have to be Irish? No, the answer is no. You don't have to be Italian to eat spaghetti, is what Natalie O'Shea always says. So you don't have to be Irish to do Irish dance, and we do have folks from lots of different ethnic backgrounds that are participating in our school and doing really well. It's fun to see that diversity. We celebrate diversity at O'Shea Irish Dance and believe that we're stronger the more diverse we are. And Cormac and actually Natalie, his wife, they met on tour for Riverdance. So we're sort of steeped in that Riverdance tradition of putting shows on. So twice a year, we put on 2 shows that are sort of in the Riverdance style. One of them is called Kickin' It Irish that we do in March around St. Patrick's Day and all the high holy days for Irish dance, the Irish dance world, and one at the holidays in December called the Celtic Holiday Hoolie. And in both of those, we have very modern steps and very modern music, but also bring a lot of this traditional music in it as well. And in one of the numbers that we do in the Kickin' It Irish show, we go all the way back to old time Ireland and demonstrate traditional set dances, which are steps, as you probably probably know, are steps that have been the same for a long time. And these traveling dance masters would run around the countryside and teach people these steps. And so you can say, well, let's do Garden of Daisies is one of the tunes that gets played, and there are specific steps that go along with Garden of Daisies. And so dancers from all over the world will know those steps. So that's one of the things that we may be bringing to the show when we come to Southview next week. We're really excited to do that. So that, yeah, connecting those traditions to modern stuff is what we're all about.
Yes.
Like, I frequently introduce myself as the Norwegian in the room, like that's my, ethnic background. And there's a lot of cool, like, folk and traditional dance that I learned at Norwegian camp when I was a kid. And I think we could be passionate about that as well. But we've spent so much time getting connected to the Irish dance community and the traditional Irish music community. There's a lot to be very excited and very passionate about. Of course, your school is awesome as well. Very, very great bunch of dancers there, and the people that run it are awesome folks, and that's really nice too. It's like we're competitors, but we're not really.
Yeah.
We're all part of the same community, and that's part of what makes it really cool too. It's like it's so easy to go into any room and just go, yeah, my kids are Irish dancers. I've been involved in Irish dance forever. It's the most awesome thing. You should try it.
Yeah, because
It's
a team sport secretly, because if you fall down, it's so stressful because you're already nervous enough with doing your sport or like doing your dance. But it's like nice when people come up to you and calm you down because they've been through the same thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Everyone has had that experience. It is universal. You're gonna fall down.
For
You're
sure.
gonna roll your ankle.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your feet are gonna hurt. The wig is gonna be too tight. Your shoes are gonna get too small before you get new ones. I mean, like, it's all, everyone has the same experience, and that universality of it is really what I think is one of the coolest parts about it, and certainly fuels my passion to be an advocate for it as an art form, as a sport, because man, it's intense.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to do, and it's a weird thing to do too. Like, it's like, wait, what? You do what? You compete and you do what? People don't really understand it. You spend how much on dresses and
What does the
how
dress
much
look
on
like?
travel?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Why are the wigs all springy? People
Is
don't
that
wear
your
those
real
kind of
hair?
wigs anymore, but yeah, right. Is that your real hair? Right, yeah. So that's classic. That's classic. But I was a theater kid and a theater major in college, and so, like, helping our daughter at the beginning put her makeup on, and I was the wig guy, the dad who could do wigs. I'm still the dad that can tie ties for the boys that are dancing that have ties. It's like, oh yeah, Kristo can tie the tie. And so there's just so much good about the community. It's really nice to be a part of it.
Yeah. And I do not do Irish dance, but I've seen Norah dance a few times. It's really impressive.
It's
When you hear Irish dance, you don't always think of how much work goes into it, but when you see it happening, it's very cool to watch and impressive.
It is cool to watch, and I think people always like the hard shoe stuff because it's loud. It's tap, it makes a lot of noise, and you can do cool things with clicking your heels and stuff like that. Rocking on their ankles and leaps and all the things that are involved in that, and the timing of it is so fascinating to, like, going, how is that happening? It's like so amazing to watch. So yeah, kudos to you on 9 years of Irish dance. That's an amazing amount of practice, and to then have friends who recognize, like, that's a ton of work and appreciate that and get amazed by it is really nice to hear.
So, everyone encounters challenges on their journey. Can you tell us about a time when you faced a significant setback in something that really mattered to you, and what valuable lesson you took away from that experience?
Yeah, I mean, we adults have lots and lots of setbacks in life, but I think the thing that's been most interesting to me to watch, at least as it's connected to Irish dance, is the experience that my children have had. They have learned hard lessons about their capabilities. Yeah, I thought I was going to do better than that. I didn't do as well as I anticipated. They learned a lot about what it's like to be a competitor, what it's like to be a contributor to a team in an artistic sense, to be a contributor to a team in a competitive sense, and to learn that ultimately, like, the buck stops with them. Like, they're the ones that are out there putting it all on the stage, and if it goes well, that's great. If it goes poorly, it's not anybody else's fault.
Yeah.
And that can be a really challenging way to learn things. But I would say all three of my kids, as dancers for as long as they've been dancing, have learned a lot of really good life lessons and learned a lot about their own ability to pursue self-improvement and learn from those mistakes or things that happen that are out of their control. I mean, I don't know if you've had the experience where another competitor will bump into you while you're competing, and it's like there's nothing you can do about that. It's how you recover, it's how you handle that situation. If you fall down, a lot of it is how you get back up. And that, there's so many opportunities in Irish dance to have those kind of experiences and learning moments that come from them, that it's been a joy for me as a dance parent and as an administrator. My wife and I are administrators for the school, so we work with Cormac and Natalie O'Shea to help the school run and send the emails and help people get registered and get fit in costumes and all that kind of stuff. It's this whole big community that when the kids have these learning experiences that feels bad at the time, they come back and they learn a thing or three from the experience, and then they come back to the school, to their community, to their friends. They get surrounded by all of the love and support that their friends give them. And it's just like, all right, this is good. It didn't go the way we wanted, or it went great, and they get all the accolades as well. But there's so much support, whether you're succeeding or struggling. There's so much support in that community. That's the main thing that I love about Irish dance and the Irish dance world.
Yeah. Well, definitely like valuable lessons for anyone, no matter Irish dance or any activity.
I think so, for sure.
Nationals, I think it was like 2 years ago maybe, me and this person jammed into each other and I slipped and I didn't fall, so I couldn't restart. So I was like, oh no, what did I do?
I know.
But I just kept dancing and I actually got a really good score and I was really happy that day.
That's great, right? Like, yeah, if you can show that it's just like, yep, that didn't matter. I'm still here, focus on me, look at my feet, I'm doing all the things.
I just kept smiling like it didn't happen because
keep smiling.
If it didn't look like it happened, then maybe the judges, it made them think, oh, it didn't happen, so.
Right. And particularly at a major where you got multiple judges watching you dance at once. So one of them might catch it, but the other ones won't, or they really appreciate how well you recover from a scenario like that. Like, I think a lot of that stuff, it doesn't factor into any kind of score about how your dancing is, but certainly like how you present yourself, the confidence that you have. Like, yeah, I'm out there and I deserve to be out here. I worked hard and I'm going to show you what I got. So I'm glad you had that experience. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen on the stage.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kristo, for taking the time to share your insights and passion with us. We're genuinely so excited to welcome the O'Shea Irish Dance Team to Southview, and we can't wait for next Friday.
Awesome. We can't either. I'm so grateful to be on here. I love talking about Irish dance. I imagine I'll do it until my last breath. So I appreciate the opportunity to join you today and talk about it. It's a wonderful sport.